Hey guys, want to save money? Want to save time? Me too. That's what meal planning is all about. So get comfortable, get yourself something to drink, grab you a seat. Let's hang out for a while. Okay, basically there's 4 steps to my meal planning strategy. But before we get into that, let me talk to you about meal types. So when I'm talking about a cooked meal, referring to my meal plan, I'm talking about basic raw ingredients, meals that you do like 75% to 100% of the cooking. This meal will usually take the longest of all the meals. Chopped or transformed meal. This is, have you ever seen the show Chopped from Food Network? That's what this reminds me of. You're taking ingredients, kind of recycling it, and putting it into another dish. Usually, this will be ingredients from your fully cooked meal. Okay, typically a cheater meal is a meal that is 30 minutes or less to make. And most of the time, when you're cooking a cheater meal, it's a meal that 50% or more of your meal has already been pre cooked, and you're simply warming up ingredients to create a dish, to create a meal. Now, some might ask, why not just make all cheater meals? And that would be fantastic as far as time goes, but not as far as money goes, because convenience foods are really a lot more expensive than just regular basic raw ingredient foods. So, what we're trying to do is balance your time and your money. And so, when you buy your convenience foods, I'm not trying to say that buying convenience foods is bad because I buy them. But what I'm trying to say is what you need to do is to stretch just as far as you can the convenience food so that's not all you're eating. That way your grocery bill is not hugely expensive. Can a cheater meal be a chopped transform meal? And the simple answer is yes, it can. But I don't want these terms to be confusing to anybody. So, in simple terms, a cheater meal is basically 30 minutes or less, mostly cooked food. A chopped transform meal will generally take you a little longer to make. It has some cooked items to it, but you're transforming it into a different dish. In general terms, usually your chopped transform meal is going to take a little bit longer than your cheater meal. And then your fully cooked meal will take the longest of all. And so basically, that's what I want you to look at these meals as in terms of time. So I mentioned that cheater meals tend to be more expensive, and that's absolutely true when you're buying pre-cooked proteins like rotisserie chicken and popcorn chicken, chicken nuggets, things like that. And I'm not saying anything against that, but if you want to hit a home run in the meal plan game, what you're going to do is when you make your cooked meal, make extra protein, and then turn around and find a way to transform that into a cheater meal. Okay, so an example of this would be, let's say you're making a chicken dinner. Well, make some extra chicken and then put your extra chicken aside. And then later on in the week, make something like chicken tacos and rice. So basically, what you've done is save on money because you made the chicken and someone else didn't. And you saved on time because it is a cheater meal now, which is like a 30-minute meal or less. So you saved on money and time. Bonus. Okay, now that we've got all the terms down and you'll understand what meals I'm talking about, let's start meal planning. Step number 1, designate. You need to designate a day and a method to meal plan. It's okay. I'm Generation X. I can take it. Yes, designate a day and method. Meal planning is just like any other lifestyle change. It's all about creating healthy habits. And once you've found your day, it will start resurfacing in your mind. Oh, yeah, I need to make a plan for the week. As far as your method goes, some people are more tech savvy and prefer digital methods such as apps and things like that. And then others are like more of a binder, journal, folder type of person method to do. And I'm more old school. Told you I was Generation X. I just pen to paper. That's what I do. Pen to paper. And I don't even have a specific notebook as far as this is only for my meal planning. It's a multi-purpose, multitask notebook that I keep in a certain drawer. I also, figure certain bills and things like that on it, but I know where it's at, and that's what I grab to do my meal planning. And that's what's important is don't get caught up in I need a certain app or I need a certain folder, binder, or whatever. Just go ahead and get your habit established first, and then whatever method that you feel comfortable with, do that if that helps you keep into the practice of doing it. Don't be like, as soon as I get that perfect binder or folder, or as soon as I find that perfect app, then I can start this. You should get into the habit first. Just do it. Step number 2 is finding your meal. And this is where my strategy is a little bit different from others. Some prefer to have themed days and things like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. The problem I find with it is it kind of narrows down my choices the way I use my strategy. So, finding your meal is find something in your mind, a meal that you've done, preferably something over and over again that you're very comfortable with, that you don't have to keep looking at a recipe card, looking at an app or something to find what you need. You know what you need, you know your ingredients. Find your meal, and this is probably going to be your cooked meal. That's what it is for me. And then ask myself, is there any way with this meal that I can make extras of either the side, the main part, whatever, and turn that into a chopped transform meal? Or can I make extras of this and keep it for leftovers for a cheater meal, which makes it the perfect cheater meal because you made it, cost is down, and it takes very little time to warm up and serve for your family for dinner. Okay, so an example of how this looks on paper is you think and find your meal. So, as an example, this past week, I put down on paper I wanted to make turkey loaf. And turkey loaf is just a meatloaf that is made of ground turkey. My husband loves it, and it's something I came up with. I just jot it down on paper, the things that I know that I need. I've made it a million times, so I know the things that goes into it. All right, so then I think, okay, what can I do to chop and transform this meal into something different? And so I thought, well, if I have enough, sides, make sure that I cook enough sides, I can put this into like a hamburger pie. Like a vegetarian hamburger pie, I use Impossible meat, but of course you can use whatever you want to if you decide to go with that same kind of plan. But I put down the things that I know that I need for my pie. So then now I've got a running list, checklist to look and make sure that I have those ingredients. I would like to mention too that some meals cannot be chopped and transformed. And an example of that would be something like lasagna. And basically, my answer for that is make sure you have extra and use that as leftover for sometime in the week. And I know there's a lot of people that kind of frown at the thought of leftovers. And I think the reason for that is that even people who like a routine in their week, in their day, do not like to eat the same thing over and over and over again every day. My answer to that would be to put a cheater meal in between the day. Like if you make your lasagna on Tuesday, make a cheater meal on Wednesday that's something totally different than lasagna. And then maybe on Thursday or something, have the lasagna. If there happens to be any more leftover lasagna, I would wrap that up and freeze it. That's a cheater meal for on down the road. And you've put the effort into it, so it's low cost. And all it takes is the time to warm it up. Bonus. Okay, step 3 is about making lists and taking inventory. So you're going to want to jot down about 5 cheater meals, something that you know you can make really quickly, about 30 minutes or less. I would say maybe 5 things or more just to have on hand. Like an example would be hamburgers and fries, sweet and sour chicken and rice, grilled cheese and soup, chicken tacos and street corn, frozen ravioli that you boil and put pasta sauce on, a salad on the side. Fourth and final step is to plug it in. Write down your week from Monday through Friday or whenever your week starts for you, your work week. Mine is Monday through Friday. And then plug in where you want your cheater meals, where you want your cooked meals, where you want your chopped and transformed meal, how it fits into your schedule. For example, Monday is a cheater meal day for me. I have extra cleaning and things that I do on Monday. Tuesday is typically my full cooked meal day. I like to utilize the leftovers and things through the week, so I usually put that on Tuesday. Wednesday, I like to do my chopped and transform because I'll use the leftovers, some of them from Tuesday, and I'll chop and transform that meal into another meal. Thursday is usually I keep it open and I call it my wild card day because sometimes I can get inspiration from other things that I have left over, maybe from my chopped and transformed meal, maybe from my meal on Tuesday, and I'll use that and kind of create a cheater meal that I didn't even know that I had. And an example of that is this week, I had made Tuesday a turkey meatloaf, and then I had extra sides, and I used those sides to make a hamburger pie. Thursday was open, but I knew that I still had some leftover mashed potatoes, and so I thought, well, maybe I can make a mock chicken bowl like Kentucky Fried Chicken does. I used some popcorn chicken that we had that I keep on hand for my cheater meals. And I made mashed potatoes and quickly I have some frozen corn, so I quickly warmed up some frozen corn and had the chicken and made like a mock chicken bowl from KFC. And I wasn't even thinking anything about it. I just know the ingredients that I had. And so what I'm trying to say is sometimes if you keep a date open, inspiration will come to you. And not only that, but it also gives you the freedom to switch a day around if something should pop up, an emergency or something like that. Well, there you have it. 4 steps to meal plan. Plus, now you have a grocery list waiting for you. Already done. Hi, did you find any value in this video at all? If so, let's be friends. Consider subscribing. It's free for you and it helps my channel out a lot. Thanks. So until next video, blessings to you, friend. Take care.